The third mainline Sonic game was Sonic CD on the Sega CD system, released in September of 1993. Wait, what? Were you expecting something different? Actually, this game was not planned on being the third in the series, but actually the second. Yes, third Sonic 2. For those unaware, after Sonic 1 released, Yuji Naka, the game's lead programmer, felt that his series needed distance from the corporate policies of Sega of Japan, and moved a large portion of his team over to the United States to develop the sequel. Meanwhile, the developers from Sonic 1 who remained in Japan, under the leadership of character designer Naoto Oshima, worked in parallel with Yuji Naka's team. The two were initially meant to be working on the same game. However, over time, different directions were chosen regarding how the sequel should be made. The projects were split into two separate games, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and Sonic CD. The two teams learned completely different lessons from the first game, with Sonic 2 focusing on the speed element of the first game, while the Sonic CD team worked more on the slower platforming, and prepared a game that championed exploration and controlled speed. At the end of the day though, the Sonic series continued off what Naka created for Sonic 2, leaving CD as a strange one-off, for a long time remembered by only those deep in the Sonic fanbase. The game was later remade in 2011 by Sonic fangame developer Christian Whitehead, who would later go on to be a driving force on Sonic Mania. As this is the only remake of CD, it will be the one that we consider to be canon. The story follows Sonic as he travels to Never Lake, a place where, every year, a mysterious world known as the Little Planet appears above the lake for a brief period of time. On the planet, the past, present, and future all collide. The planet is powered by the Time Stones, a group of magical gems that allow the planet's mysterious properties. Is it just me, or does this sound very familiar? After South Island, West Island, and of course the eventual discovery of Angel Island in Sonic 3, we have a strange number of floating landmasses that are inextricably linked to magical gems. Once again, I want to put this off for a few more videos, but I just wanted to draw attention to the consistent parallels we have seen in legitimately every single game we have covered so far. There is something going on here, even if I don't know what. Anyways, back to the story at hand. Something is different this time. When the Little Planet would usually be around very briefly, Sonic arrived to find it encased in metal and chained to the earth. You didn't need to think very long about who would cause this. There was only one real answer. The dastardly Dr. Robotnik, back again. This time to conquer not the power of chaos, but time itself. Sonic isn't alone in his quest, however. A young girl had come to the island on her own accord. She was a fortune teller, a reader of tarot, who had learned from the cards that, in coming to the Little Planet, she would have a fateful encounter with the love of her life. Upon arriving, she met Sonic, and was determined to stay by his side. This girl was, of course, Amy Rose the Hedgehog. Sonic swiftly invaded the planet, with Amy tagging along behind. He didn't really have much interest in her romantic subplot, but he didn't want the girl to get hurt either, so he kept an eye on her. Once there, Sonic found that, at certain times if he ran fast enough, he could actually travel through time. The past was a serene wonderland, under attack by Robotnik's robots. In the present, his forces were just beginning to take hold, and the future was a dark, foreboding wasteland, where Robotnik ruled with an iron fist. Soon after their arrival, Amy was kidnapped by a blue robot that moved with a speed unparalleled by anyone. Well, almost anyone. This robot was as fast as Sonic himself, and even looked the part, sporting a blue Tektite exterior, spines along its head and back, and an attitude. This was Metal Sonic. Not just any Metal Sonic, mind you, but the recognizable one. The one seen in Sonic Heroes, Sonic Generations, and Sonic 4. When most Sonic fans talk about Metal Sonic, this is the robot that they mean. And expect another video on him very soon. There are some theories surrounding the robot that I want to discuss. With Amy in the hands of Robotnik and the fate of the future in the balance, Sonic knows that it's up to him to stop the Mad Doctor in his tracks once more. In every level, Sonic travels through two stages, and then faces off against Eggman in a third boss stage, which exclusively takes place in the future of that zone. While the future starts off as a Robotnik-ruled wasteland known as the Bad Future, Sonic can turn those areas instead into the Good Future, a zone completely without robots and with a more positive background music. This could be done by finding a robot transporter in the past of each zone. By destroying it, Robotnik's influence on the stage would be done for. Also in the past, a projector showing Metal Sonic stomping on a small animal could be found. By destroying that, the native wildlife would return to the area as well, though that was not required to access the Good Future. Deep into the little planet, Sonic finally arrived at Stardust Speedway. It was here he would finally face off against Metal Sonic. But not in a fight. What Metal Sonic really wanted was something much more in line with Sonic's own desires. A race to the finish. The loser of the race would be destroyed by Robotnik. The stakes set in place, the two began their battle. While Metal was trying to attack and sabotage Sonic the whole way, the blue blur was able to pull through and reach the end of the race, leaving Metal to be fried by Robotnik's traps. Freeing Amy, he made his way to the depths of Robotnik's base, Metallic Madness, to track down the scientist and remove his hold on the island once and for all. While Robotnik's final fever was a tough challenge, Sonic was able to beat him and free the little planet. This game, much like the previous one, has alternate endings based on how the game is played. In general, I tend to assume that the hardest ending to reach is the canon one in games like this, unless shown otherwise from later titles. Here, there are actually two different ways to get the best ending. Either by returning all stages to their good futures, by removing the robot transporters mentioned earlier, or collecting all the time stones from the special stages. Interestingly enough though, I think that the good ending of this game was completed only by collecting the time stones, not by destroying the transporters. In both Sonic Generations and Sonic 4's episode Metal, Stardust Speedway is shown, but only the Bad Future version. This implies to me that Sonic never found the transporter in Stardust Speedway, and as such, it was still devastated by Robotnik in the future, even if he had saved the rest of the little planet. So, I don't know entirely which ones he did and didn't destroy, but all I can tell is that it wasn't every single one. But feel free to tell me if you disagree with this reading. Now for the question of timeline placement. This one has really had me racking my brain. Two different characters have been pulling at me to keep this question in my mind. Tails and Metal Sonic. Tails is not in the main story of this game. Yes, he can be unlocked as a playable character in the 2011 remake, but he doesn't have his own separate story and still doesn't appear in Sonic's. The two are nearly inseparable in the classic era after Sonic 2's release. So if this took place after, surely Tails would have been there alongside him. On the other hand, Metal Sonic seems far more advanced than Mega Sonic Mark 1, and at least on par with Mega Sonic Mark 2 from Sonic & Knuckles. Though the level of AI shown in later games leads me to believe him to be even more advanced than that. So there's no way he could have been built before those robots. So what gives? At the end of the day, what made my decision was a single image. Tails actually does show in the original Sonic CD, but only very briefly. There are plenty of hidden images in Sonic CD, one of which features Tails with a green car saying, "See you next game." Obviously, this may be reading too far into an image that obviously isn't even shown in the main game, but it seems to imply that Tails was meant to debut in the next Sonic game after this. Since CD and 2 were developed at the same time, it would make sense that this image was originally intended to be included if CD released first, though that ended up not happening, so it was scrapped. Plus, there are other explanations for how Metal Sonic could be far more advanced than the other Eggman robots. I'll be making another video on this topic very soon. So, at the end of the day, I think I'm going to place this game before Sonic 2. Both of them, I guess, since 8-bit seems to have been the game where Tails started to join Sonic on his adventures. If you want to play this game on modern hardware, the remake can be found on Steam, as well as the Apple and Google Play stores. It's actually quite obtainable, so go check it out if you have the time. And I guess that's all we need to cover for the game. As I have hinted a few times in this video, I intend for my next episode to be one discussing a very pervasive theory about Metal Sonic. So keep an eye out for that in your sub boxes very soon. Remember to support the channel if you enjoyed by doing all the fun things that you know you need to do, and I'll see all of you in the next chapter.
Look at yourself.